my person. Yes, thank you for that presentation of who I am. I'm so happy. Good morning, everyone. I'll welcome you, all of you, to this learning session. As Alan said, it's on online tools, and I use them a lot in my classes. I also use them in presentations like session facilitations. So I just decided, I said, okay, for us to have a loop input of what this thing is, let me do my presentation online too. So for you to be able to, for us to start this presentation, you will go to your browser and then you type joinmyquiz.com, joinmyquiz.com, and then you will see join a presentation or enter game code. You enter the game code that you have here. They will ask you to input your name. Once you input your name, I will see you as a participant and then we can start. So could you just go to your browser, type joinmyquiz.com, and then click on join a presentation or enter game code. And this is the code here on your screen. And you will input your name and then you will feature here and we could start. So I just wanted it to be online, and this is how I do at times with my students. It's true, I could also send you a code and then send you a link and you click immediately and then you get into the presentation. So waiting for you to join. You could always type in the chat box if you have already joined.
Sorry, this is Mohammed. I want you to come back again because I'm a little bit confused on how to go and join too.
The code is 761 148. 761 148. 761 148. Seven, 6, 1, 1, 4, 8. If you've already joined, you can indicate in the chat box, and Alan could let me know. Please already join, but whenever they join, I should also. Is there any person who has joined already?
Yes, I'm Prosper already. Prosper Mbuli from the DS.
Yes, have you joined the quiz online?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I'm Loveline from Cameroon. I've joined the online quiz already.
Okay, so yes, I have 7 people who have joined. I've got 40 already. That's good. I have 7 people here. So maybe 3 more people and we will start. The other people could just follow on Zoom, but they wouldn't be able to input their answers if at all there is any question. There is, yeah. Okay, I have Diallo who's joined. That's great, Diallo, thank you. 2 more people and then we can start. Remember that you can always join even if we've already started, because you just need to type on your browser joinmyquiz.com and then you type in the code, which is 761 148. 8. And oh, 9 people, Cornell, that's great, Cornell. Oh, 10, that's great, Abasiakan, that's wonderful. So let us start.
Hello, dear moderator. I'm sorry. I would like to know how can I proceed?
Okay, so using online tools in on-site or online classes.
Yes.
Okay, Alex already. I'm an alum, Robert Kenfack, an English and French language teacher from Cameroon. I'm an alumnus from the Fulbright Teaching Excellence and Achievement. That was in 2020 in Massachusetts. So we're moving to the next slide. Yes, so you have the questions on your computer or on your phones for those who are connected, and you have the question. Okay, great. Moses Alue, thank you. Fan Shishak, great. So introduce yourself, name, subject you teach, country, your likes and dislikes if you can. Anything you want to tell us about yourself, you can introduce yourself. Great. I've seen another answer from Morel. Great, Morel, that's great. Yes, good. Fatih Dembele, yes, we have Fatih on, that's good. Morel Mali Mensa, that's good. Yes, Cornell, English home language and English additional language, natural science, South Africa. Great to meet you, Cornell, that's wonderful. Morel, teaching English in Benin Republic, great, Morel, that's wonderful. Nice to meet you. Cornell again. Yes, so you see, when you're doing this with your learners, as they are putting, yes, Chi Ernestine, EFL teacher, FAT alumni, UMass Lowell, I'm passionate about teaching methodologies. Wonderful, Ernestine. Yes, we have this other person from Nigeria, Oluwatoyin, that's great. She likes reading, that's wonderful. Kojaon Aristide, English teacher, trainer, Côte d'Ivoire, music, reading, football, that's wonderful. Fuan Shishak, English, Nigeria. I love traveling, wonderful to hear from you. Okay, this is Aloba. I like English language I teach English language at the Niran Ogunsanya College of Education. That's wonderful. Great. So lots of answers, and then this is how you do it with your learners in class, and then you get the participation immediately. Yes, you get their answers immediately on your screen, and then they too can read their answers, and they're so happy to do that. Hi, this is Stuart, and today I'm in Madrid, Spain. I work on the English Connects project in Africa for the BC. I know Robert very well. Happy to have you on, Stuart. Time is up, so we're going to move to the next slide. Happy to have you on, Stuart. Stuart is my trainer. Binui Odonu, English language teacher and literature in English from Nigeria. That's great. So we want to move, this is the getting to know you activity that you can do online with your learners on this platform that is called Quizlet. I want to end the question, so we move to the next slide. Okay, great. Yes, people are still sending. Next slide. I'm sorry, it delays a little bit. Internet connection at times isn't that the best. What are your expectations for this presentation? So you've got 3 minutes to answer that. That's 168 seconds remaining. So you just type in, what are your expectations for this presentation?
Please type in the chat box if you haven't been able to access the quizzes site.
Good, excellent reminder, Alan.
I have a question, sorry.
Yes.
From where, how can I write this? My name and where? I didn't
You
find...
had to go to, you see on your screen, joinmyquiz.com, and then you go to join a presentation, and then you enter the code that was 761148. If
Okay.
you can do that, then you can follow the presentation via Zoom without participating directly as the other people are doing. On Zoom, you could type in your answers, and then
but there weren't any letters here to write. There is no keyboard.
the keyboard appears on your computer, I mean, or on your phone.
I'm using a phone. Not a
I'm
computer.
not sure you've joined. Have you joined the game?
Yes.
Are you a member of this? I see 21 people in this. Are you a member of the 21?
Yes, my name is Zahra Mursi. But
Yes.
I use a smartphone, not PC.
Yeah, even on a smartphone, you click when you see the question, you click on where the answer is supposed to be, and then immediately you start typing, and then the answer will pop up.
Okay, is it at the above of the page or the bottom?
It is still on the page.
How can I? Yes, answer
Most
the question.
I still have the same problem. I can't get to where to answer.
Yeah. Which button I'm going to press? Sorry.
You say?
Which button? Pardon? Which button I'm going to press to give my answers, please? Here, go.
To type in your answers, the question appear on your
yes,
your
I
phone.
found the questions. What are your expectations? And the first question is about identifying myself, but I didn't find the keyword to write my answer. That's all.
What I just think that you haven't joined. You have joined. Maybe you're on Zoom and you can see you can see the slides, but I'm not sure you are on the game. Like, let me check.
Okay. Can I say it orally?
No,
can I say something, please?
Okay, my name is Zahra Mursi from Sudan. I'm Zahra Mursi from Sudan.
Yes.
Yes, I'm teacher, English teacher for the primary, the basic level and the intermediate level. First class, intermediate level. We have in Sudan just only the intermediate level, first class because the BBC published some books, new books, which are called Smile series. And I am an English trainer also.
Okay.
As well as an English teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. So we continue for the session with the session objectives. By the end of this presentation, participants will be able to use app to develop learner speaking and writing skills, improve classroom participation, evaluate learners, make learning engaging. So we want to move to the next slide, which is which of the objectives stated above matches your expectation. So read the objectives again, and then you want to tell us which one matches your expectations.
Okay, thank you. Oh, can I share?
Yes, you can write. You're not sharing orally. You can type your in the chat box.
I didn't find the keyword, the keyboard here to type. In my phone.
Yes.
I want to type.
Oh, you don't have any keyboard?
Yes, there is no keyboard here. I'm using a smartphone just, and I haven't got it here at the bottom of the.
You use the key.
Yeah. but
you actually use the
can I share
of your phone?
From where? Okay, can I share now? Excuse me.
I think if you click in the space where the answer should be, the keyboard should pop up on your smartphone.
Where?
Okay, great. Which of these objectives are for a field, making learning more engaging for kernel? That's great. Any other answers? So you see the question and then you click on where you're supposed to put the answer, then you will see your keyboard, it pops up and then you type in your answer. Just two answers, one from field and then one from kernel. Okay, time is up. We're moving to the next slide. I don't know whether you've been able to see where you type your answers. So name some online tools or platforms you know or use. Could you name some online tools or platforms you know or use? We have 26 people connected now. It's true, connectivity isn't the best, but we have 26 people connected. Name some online tools or platforms you know or use.
I'm sorry, sir. We are a lot of people, but we still have the problems of having the keyboard as mentioned earlier, and also to find where we can be typing our answers.
You can see where to type in your answers?
Yes, we still face the problems of finding the keyboard because others we do not have computers, but we are using simply our smartphones.
When you're using your phone too, the question appears on your phone, and then there is a place where you have to click that. My students always use their phones, and I'm sure many of the people answering are using phones. Can someone just tell them how they're doing? You just click on where the answer is supposed to be, and then you start typing. Cornell says Zoom, Card, WhatsApp. I know about Classroom, Dojo, but haven't used it yet. Okay, that's great. From Aloba, we have WhatsApp and Google. Yes, we have other responses. Yes, WhatsApp from Moses, Moodle from Sabi, Google Classroom from Loveline Bushaga. Happy to have you on, Loveline. Yes, Coursera, WhatsApp, that is from Wamka. We have WhatsApp, Kahoot, Facebook, Moodle from Kojahong, that's great. Google Classroom and WhatsApp, that's wonderful. Google Classroom, WhatsApp, Telegram or Graph from Hawa, from Nigeria. Quizlet, WhatsApp, that's wonderful. Quizlet is great. We have, okay, Kahoot from One Shishak, that's great. British Council. Yes. So those are some of the answers. 16 people out of 28 have answered. I want to move to the next question.
Okay, I don't know, I'm sorry. Things have changed today, you know. We used to know how better we can use Zoom, but today things are falling apart. For example, we cannot easily get the keyboard just to answer the different questions as far as quiz itself is concerned.
Yeah, to answer the questions, normally the question pops up on your phone, and what you do is you have a place where you click in, you just touch and you answer. So yes, great. Which of the online tools have you heard of? Yes, yes, 2 people have heard of Padlet, Flipgrid, and Kahoot, 6 of Google Form, 1 of Mentimeter, and 3 people, all of them, none of them. 0 per person, that's wonderful. Yes, so at least 8 people, Google Forms, Google Docs. Yes, that's great. 11 people out of 29 have answered the questions. Oh, 9 people have heard of Google Forms, Google Docs, that's great. Yeah, if you
Hello. I have the opportunity to speak. I also have troubling finding way to type in the answers.
In here,
and
you can always type them in
the chat box.
In the Zoom, you can always type them in the chat box of Zoom if you can actually get access to. But this is simple. You just yes, great, of Google Forms and Google Docs. 1 person of Mentimeter. Yes, 4 people, all of them. That's wonderful. Yes, somebody, was it Zenobia?
Yes, in the chat, when I open the chat box, I'm only able to see a direct message to Ellen, which is the host. I'm not able to send it like to the whole group. Also the connectivity is really bad. I can't hear you clearly, and I'm interested in learning about these things, but I can't participate because I'm having trouble in answering questions and hearing you.
If you click on the arrow next to direct message to me, then the whole list will pop up. And
Now,
the first item is everyone in meeting.
yes, Ellen, but on my screen here, when I click on the arrow, it's only your name that appears as host.
Oh dear. Okay, I'm afraid you'll just have to listen then and watch without giving your answers, or perhaps there'll be some time later to speak. But for now, can we let Robert continue?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarifications, Alan. So we're moving to the next slide. Okay, we've already got this. Comfort, the children are making a lot of noise behind you.
Okay. Can I say something, please?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, so here are some online users. So actually, we have Padlet. We use Padlet for writing. We use Padlet for collaborative.
Sorry, Robert, you'll have to unmute to speak again.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. So I was here on online tools, and I was talking about some online tools. We have Padlet, for example. We use Padlet for writing and collaborative work and exchanges. So Padlet is a platform. I'm going to show you this at the end. You open the platform, you set it, you can type a topic, for example. I have one last one where I was talking to my students about the holidays. You type in the question and then the student answer in writing. The difference with WhatsApp and Padlet is that the person's text appear and you can always see almost all the text at the same time, so you don't need to search a lot before getting to new messages, to old messages, old text like in WhatsApp. And then it's quite good because the students can immediately comment on there. They can say comment on their classmates' work, so they can then work collaboratively, and then they can do peer correction easily. Also with Padlet, I can create a Padlet, for example, with my students in Cameroon, and then I share the Padlet with some students of maybe Cote d'Ivoire or Mozambique, and then the exchange inside the Padlet. That is good. It's mostly for writing. We have Google Forms. I generally use Google Forms not only for questionnaires as people generally do, but I use Google Forms for tests. There is a way of actually testing your students with Google Forms by adding the points, and the students, when they write immediately, you have the answers, and then they can also receive the answers by mail, or you can, if you've activated the automatic response, they will get their answers by mail. And if you haven't, then you'll be the person to send their marks to them. With it, when I'm using Google Forms, I'm able to actually attach an audio to my Google Form for listening, and I'm able to type add writing there, a question where you will be really long writing. So when there is short answer, there is long answer, and then there you can have multiple choice questions. You can have check-in box. There is also Google Docs. Google Docs, I use it for collaborative writing with the learners and collaborative work, because actually in Doc, you could create a document and then two students could create a document and share, and you, the teacher, could also be a part of the document. So you are able to bring in your own comments or your corrections whenever possible. So I use that. And then there is also this great one, which is called Flipgrid. I use it for speaking and also for exchanges. So unlike Padlet, which is mostly for speaking, I mean, your students, they make videos. For example, you could ask them to talk to you about their a memorable day in their life, and they have to make it in a form of videos, and then they put, and the video goes automatically onto the platform, and each person who gets connected there, who has the link or the code, can see what they have done. And what is good is that you can comment on some, you can write your comments down together. I can also share my Flipgrid with somebody in London or anywhere, and then students do cultural exchanges. So Flipgrid is good. I use it to test speaking or to improve the speaking level of my learners. So yes, Google Docs, as I was saying, is actually very important for students to do collaborative learning and share their work. I want to move to the next slide. Yes, we continue with other online tools and their users. We also have Kahoot. Kahoot, we use Kahoot. I use it for games. I also use it for tests. And what is good about Kahoot, and then even Google Forms, when you use them for tests, and even quizzes, the one I'm using now to do this presentation, is that at the end, you have a report. So you don't need to, like we usually do here, at the end, you have to see, you take the scripts, you take the marks, you do the statistics, how many students had this, how many students fail, how many. That report is done automatically in Kahoot and in quizzes, and also in Google Forms. So you don't need, and the questions your students fail, they are there and you can easily see them and comment them. So we also have Quizlet. Quizlet is quite good. I use Quizlet for teaching, and inside Quizlet, you've got a lot of vocabulary, and then you have the spelling of the words, you have the reading, you have even listening. They tell you how they pronounce the word, and then there are a lot of exercises, especially the matchings, the dictation. Oh, they will read the word and they ask you to write the word. I use that a lot with students and they really enjoy it. We have Mentimeter. Mentimeter is an anonymous interactive online, it's a tool for anonymous interactive online tool for classes. I use them for classes. I also use them when I'm doing like pools, and it's great because with Mentimeter, students participate, and then, you know, some students do not want to answer question and get themselves known. So in that case, the answer, you just see the answer popping up without knowing exactly which student has sent the answer, and it encourages people to quite participate. And we also have quizzes. Quizzes, I use quizzes like the one, this is quizzes I'm using right now with you. I just decided to use quizzes to do this presentation. So you can use quizzes to prepare lessons and present them. You can present them online, you can present them, asynchronously too. So it can be synchronously or asynchronously. All the tools I've presented to you, what I like in them is that when your internet connection isn't quite good, then you can use them asynchronously with your learners. So you can just send them a link. Maybe you have a backup WhatsApp group where you can share the links with your learners, and then they click on the link whenever they are at home. What is also good with quizzes is that you can assign, when you assign by sending that link, as I said, your students you can give them 1 week, you could give them 2 weeks to be able to complete the test you've given them, or the lesson you've sent to them, and that works perfectly. The same thing is done with Google Forms. In Google Forms, you can also assign the test to the learners, and then you give them a specific time to be able to answer. And then after that time, you go and then you can cancel the link, and they won't be able to get access to it again. So this next slide is on any questions so far. Do you have questions to ask? If you have questions, then you can always type them in the chat box. Or for those who are directly connected to this meeting, you can type your questions, and then the questions normally pop up here, and then I can see them. So if you have any questions so far, you could ask them. Alan, if you receive any question from any person, you can always send the question to me. You can always ask it and I could answer.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. For now, I don't see any questions.
I've got one, Robert.
Yes.
I think you may have already covered this, but the question is quite an important one for lots of people. It's how can we use these tools in areas which have connection issues? And I think it was your idea about sending a link for students to use them asynchronously. Am I right?
Excellent, excellent. You got it all right. You got it all right. So whenever there are connectivity issues, like with me now, what I do is I send a link to the learners, and then they work on it all alone at home. Yesterday, Alan can testify, I sent him a link to this presentation, and he had to watch the presentation and do it without me being there. And it was on this platform. Okay, Coach Hong says it's okay for him. Which of these is more effective for feedback? I think all of them are quite effective, especially Flipgrid, because people can type in there. You could, Padlet is also good because you can type your feedback immediately on Padlet. I also think Google Forms is good, Google Docs, because your learners can collaborate immediately inside the platform. But for feedback, if you want feedback just with yourself, these quizzes, it's also good because it gives you the opportunity to send emails to the parents of your learners or to the learners. At the end of this presentation, if I have your email and you were
I'm afraid we've lost you, Robert. Can you switch providers?
I can always send you all you did. We also send your work to paper. How do we use some of this again, Thompson? Anything, if there is internet connection issues, yes, you use it asynchronously, meaning that you send a link to the learners. Could these platforms be shared with us? Yes, I will share I've given you the names of the platforms, and I could always share them with you again. If one were to teach online, which is the best, I can't hear this question from Glory. If one were to teach online, which is the best? Yeah, I think this one to teach, you use these quizzes to teach is great. you're teaching online, just like I'm doing now. I'm doing a presentation, but the presentation is totally online. And the best thing about it is that you can send a link to your learners. Remember that when you have questions, like we have question here, you set a time for that. Is it possible to use it with large classes? Wonderful. You can excellently use that with your large classes, and there will be no issue about that. So you can use them with your large classes.
Yeah, I have an oral question because I don't happen to know how I can write my answer. The question is this: Would you come to the 7th, the Multimeter? I did not guess well the meaning, but also because I will not get the chance to ask again after the online conference. Would you send us the soft document because can be referring inside?
Yes. You will receive the presentation. Alan, I think they will receive a copy of the presentation, or it will be put on a British Council online.
Yeah, a number of people are asking this, and the presentation and possibly the recording, I'm not sure, but certainly the PowerPoint presentation will be available on the Teaching English Africa website.
Excellent. Thank you for the clarification, Alan. I think we've answered the question of that participant. So,
the guy said he has an interview new.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to mute everyone again, Robert. We're getting a lot of interference.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, you'll have to unmute, Robert.
Thank you very much, Alan. I am on again. So we're starting today. I presented some online tools to you, but for the purpose of this presentation, I wanted to dwell on two. And the two I've chosen for this presentation are Mentimeter. We use it for interactive classes. And by the end of this first part of the presentation, you will be able to access the Mentimeter software, create a presentation on Mentimeter, add a new slide to the presentation, use the various features and different types of Mentimeter. So that is the first element of. So what is Mentimeter? Mentimeter is an interactive presentation software with free and paid features, but I always use the free features. I'm not yet up to the level of, so I'm presenting it to you, and I know many of you would like something that's free. So it has free features, but you can get in, and if you feel like it's so useful to you, then you can pay for the monthly, or yes, you can. Yeah, you can decide to pay it monthly, but it's free. You can use it also for free. It's true, you won't going to have all the possibility of working inside. So it can be used in lectures, in seminars, in training sessions, in presentations, or any face-to-face or online teaching session. It is used to create polls, open and close questions, and competitive quizzes. So you can use it in your class for competitive quizzes. You can use it to create polls with your learners, and your learners in that case will be considered the audience. And what they do is they provide questions. So Mentimeter questions are set, and learners or audience can respond anonymously via a mobile phone or any other internet connected device. So it could be their tablet, their computer, or their phones. When I talk phones, I know many of you are going to say, okay, in my teaching context, phones are not allowed in school, but there is always these possibilities. I know some of you have computer laboratories in their schools. Like in mine, we've got a computer laboratory, and the computer laboratory has internet connection. So when I want to do a presentation and I want it to be live in class, I write a letter to my principal asking for authorization to use the computer hall. that could be a week ahead or like some 5 days ahead of time. So they have the time to study my application and then grant me my permission to use the hall. Then I take the students there, and then it's got a projector. So we will use the projector for my own screen, and the students will use the computers. And whenever that is not possible, I can always create a Mentee and send a link, as I told you, to my learners. And then that way I do it through WhatsApp. We have WhatsApp groups, so I send the links to the groups, and then the learners do get there when they are at home at any time. Presentations can be done live or asynchronously, and that is what I like the most about it, because if you have your presentations that could be done asynchronously, that really helps your learners, and even the you yourself, it solves the problem of connectivity. What do we need to use Mentimeter? We need an electronic device, an Android phone or a smartphone, a computer, a tablet. We need a connection for both the presenter learners, and then an email, a Facebook or Google account. But this is just for the presenter. The students, your learners, do not need to have such accounts to be able to get to your Mentimeter, because you just send them the link and they get to it. So you absolutely do not need to. They don't need to have those accounts. How to access Mentimeter as a presenter or a teacher. So if you are a teacher, this is what you type. You type mentimeter.com. I think you can actually see it, mentimeter.com with meter.com in your browser. And then once you type in, then you send, then you will see sign up with your email or Facebook or Google account. So remember very well, you enter mentimeter.com. Quite remember to do so, mentimeter.com as a presenter. And then you sign up with your Google or your Facebook account. And then your students, how do they get access to your Mentee that you've created? They just enter mentee.com in their browsers, and then they select join a presentation, just like we did with quizzes. So you entered quizzes, joinmyquiz.com, and then you clicked on join a presentation or enter game code, something like that. And then you input your name, and then you're on the page. So you input the presentation code, if at all you're presenting live. But if it is not live, and you're presenting, you just send the link to your learners, and then your learners are immediately onto the page, and they don't need to have a code if you're not presenting live. So the next thing we want to do is I'm showing you how it is. This is the Mentimeter interface, the home page, where you click on sign up, as we just discussed. Sign up, and so you you will see these create interactive presentations or meeting wherever you are. You click on sign up. After clicking on sign up, you're going to see this: sign up with Google, sign up with Facebook, or with your email address, just as I told you, because you have all of these possibilities of signing up. You can sign up with your Facebook account. You can do that with your Google account. You can do that with your email. So this is how it looks like when you get to that page. Next. Next, this is what is going to pop up. You see set up your account. So select education option. So set up where will you use Mentimeter. So you write it, maybe the country and what are the main goals for using Mentimeter? As a teacher, I generally would write the training and education. And then the advice I would give many of you is that if you're signing in or signing up for anything concerning these online tools, and they ask you, the best thing to say is training or education, because if you say enterprise, they might think that you own an enterprise and that your company has to pay for it. But when it's education, generally it's free. So you save, after selecting, you save your selection. So, and then you have another page popping up, and that page automatically will show you how to use your Mentee. Are you going to use it for free or pay for it? So this is the page. So you select the free option by clicking on continue for free. So you can see free for any trying out Mentimeter is $0. And it is for an unlimited audience. You can see here, no credit card needed. But if you take the basic form, then all the essentials for interactive presentations that you're going to pay $9.99 per month. And then you are entitled to bill annually. And then, yes, then you buy it. It is basic. You have unlimited questions. You import presentations. You can export Excel. But even with free, I always import questions and export Excel. Just that with free, you cannot go beyond 2 slides. But what I do is when I create 2 slides and I want to continue my presentation, for example, it was this British online seminar. I will just write British Council online seminar 1. I make 2 slides. I create another one. I make 2 slides until I have the number of slides that I need. So I could use it for free. This is the way I used to go around the obligations of free Mentee for using only 2 slides. So you have the Pro, which is almost $25 per month, and then you have Custom and Enterprise. So those are some of the features of that is how Mentimeter is paid. I mean, annually or monthly for those who want to use it. But I mean, I'll always encourage people to start with a free version, then if they are interested. So once you select continue for free, then you see this, click on a video pops up, and that video helps you to use Mentimeter, how to use a Mentimeter. Then the video will show you. So you see, here is the video. You just click here, and then the video will be like kind of directives on how to use the to create already. You can just click on new presentation. You can see new here inside this blue button, and then you have my presentation. Once you click your presentation, it goes automatically to a folder into my presentations. And yeah, that's a bit how it works. And yes, then you can, after this, once you click on new presentation, you will go to the next page of Mentee, and this is that dashboard page where you have new presentations. If you click here, you're creating a presentation, and then you have plus new folder. You can all actually decide to classify your presentations in folders. So for example, I'm teaching CCM Form 1, I have a folder for Form 1, I have a folder for Form 2, I have a folder for Form 3. So that's how I do it, for example. So you can always put your presentations in folders, or you allow them to just be the way they are without like all of them will appear on the same page without any, yes, create. And then you get to how to create a new presentation. You click on new presentation, title it, click on create presentation, and then edit. The edit view pops up, and then saving is done. What I like in many of these tools is that saving is done automatically. So you don't need to save it somewhere as we do, because it's saved in the cloud, and you can always have your presentation, even if you were working and then you happen to have a shortage of electricity. I hope, can you still hear me? Alan, can you? I feel like.
Absolutely,
Alan?
yes, yes, we can hear you, Robert.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Exactly.
Thank you, because I can see my image has frozen on my computer and I'm like, can they still hear me?
No, it's fine.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. So as I was telling you, when you work in Google, or you work in quizzes, or you work in Mentee, and there is any electricity cut, and then you don't have any, like the battery of your computer is not functioning well, then there's no problem, because once the electricity comes back and then you switch on your computer, you're going to get automatically to the page where you were automatically. So you get automatically to the page where you were. Alan, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, no problem.
Okay, you can hear me, but I feel like my image on the computer is frozen, and I don't know why.
No, it's a moving image for us, don't worry.
Okay. But I have some.
Go on, go on.
Okay. Yes, I'm like. I'm surprised you say you can hear me, because like.
We can hear you, Mr. Robert.
I imagine it's disconcerting for you, but it's okay for us, Robert.
Maybe thank you very much.
I'll tell you if there's a problem.
Okay, okay. I've got a worry.
Go ahead, Robert.
Yes.
You can check the network.
I want to go ahead, but I have a technical issue. The computer is frozen. My image is frozen, and then the slides are also frozen. I can just continue. I can.
Robert, would you like me to switch to the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, you can do that. You can do that, but you can do that.
Okay, I'll do that now.
Okay. Oh yes, everything has come back to normal.
It's come back.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know what was the issue.
Okay, do you want to continue then?
Okay.
Do you want to share again?
Okay. Thank you. But how to go to presentation?
Yeah.
And even the recording has started.
Excellent. Good.
Good.
So
yeah, ready now. Fine.
We were already at the level of Multimeter, and then what do we need to use? Audience, yes, good. We had done this, yes. Here, okay, yes. I was at the level of okay. How do you do here? Good. Yes, presentation. Okay, click on the button for new presentation, title it, and click on create presentation. The edit view pops up. Okay, what are the types of slides that you see on Multimeter? You have questions, you have MCQs, you have word clouds, you have open-ended, you have scale, ranking, Then you also have content slides, which have paragraphs, bullets, headings, images, videos, and quotes. Remember that if you want to put a video there, they might ask you to pay to go to the paid version, but you can always use the other versions for free. You have quiz competition and question and answer. For example, when I'm doing this with my learners and I have a getting to know you activity, I can just type, I make a Mentee where I say, for example, introduce yourself, they introduce themselves, and then the next slide will be like, what do you want to know about Robert? And my students type in their questions, and then it pops up. I see the questions, I read and I answer them gradually. How to create a presentation on Mentimeter. You can choose your slide type, that is question, content, or quizzes. And then you can click add slide at the top left side corner to add a new slide. So it works just like PowerPoint. And then how to present your Mentimeter. So like once you've created your Mentimeter, you have the title. For example, here you have my title. You have from 3A, I am on module 4, and the title of the module is job seeking. That is the Mentee I've created. So when I want to present it, I just click on present, and the code, you will see a message just like on quizzes that says click on Mentee, type mentee.com, www.mentee.com, and then enter the game code. You enter and then you'll be on the page, and whenever I put the next question, you see. So any question for me so far, if we were on quizzes, you could just type your questions immediately and I will see as you were doing. But now on PowerPoint and Zoom, you may have to type in your questions in the chat box for Alan to give me some of them. Do you have any questions so far? Or we could give, there's also a possibility at least one speaker, one participant saying something.
I'm sending a message to Alan. Please, you can continue. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm only sending a message. My phone is about.
Okay. Yes, Alan.
Okay.
Any
Shall we?
question?
Nothing yet, Robert. Shall we give people a couple of minutes?
No, it's not a question. It's not a question. It's just a request.
Okay.
Can I say something?
So here's the first question, Robert. Which platform do you mostly use? Which is your favorite?
As an English language teacher, you know, we need to have a sort of mixture of everything. So if I'm doing reading, I'm doing writing, I think Padlet will be better for me. If I have but a getting to know you activity and I want the students to participate the more, and depending on the class, I will use Mentimeter, for example. If I actually want to assess the learners, I think quizzes is better for that. If I want to organize a lesson, a teaching in a form of PowerPoint and send to the learners in an interactive way, just like we were doing, I prefer using quizzes. So I would just tell you, but I really love quizzes because it gives you the opportunity to send the results to individual students and even to their parents. So if parents have emails, you can email them the work of their learners. I also like evaluating using Google Forms because I can also send an email to the parent with with a soft copy of the learner, and the parent is able to see what their child has done in class. I would say generally all of them are good, depending on the level where you are and the class and the activity you are teaching. Okay.
Right.
Hope I've given.
Can I say something?
Yes, Prosper. Then we
Thank you very much.
continue.
Thank you very much for the flow. I have realized that all these tools are compulsory, are important. But the problem, you know, for example, in my country, in Congo, you can see the greatest places are not, there is no network, there is no electricity, and I can see these tools, they require the instrument like laptop, like mobile phones. So I don't know what we can do, because when I see these tools be used in the cities, like the place I am in Goma, but there is a great place in North Kivu province, the part of the DRC, where you can hardly get the network and electricity. But in other ways, these tools are more compulsory.
Okay.
Something else to say.
Thank you very much, Prosper, for your question. But I want to think that often we do maybe exaggerate what we have in our areas, because I feel, you see, there is no electricity, there is no network, whereas I see you connected here, meaning that at least some people are connected, at least some people have electricity, at least some people have phones, at least some people have computers. And I always think that when we start something, it's when the other people realize that it's moving that they join. In my context too, people will tell you that students do not have phones, but I see them in the quarters with phones which are more expensive than the phones I have. Students will go, you say there's no electricity, but if they want to chat on WhatsApp or on Facebook, that is what they use the most, they are going to look for where there is electricity to do that. So if you carry out activities they feel are really important, I mean, interesting, not important, but interesting for them, and then you will, you get their interest, and then you channel, I mean, your work toward their interest, all of them are going to get, you will see that gradually people will get, and in my context too, at times we work with parents. So when we create WhatsApp groups with the learners, those who do not have their personal phones at home, we always ask them to meet their parents, and then we ask permission from the parents, we collect their numbers, and then we use but their numbers. In that way, these parents too know what is happening with the teacher in class and with the learners. I don't know whether I've answered your question. I don't think I can give a complete answer.
Yeah, you have answered, but the problem is what, when I am attending a such conference, as I work in this association of teachers here in the DRC, by the end, I have to plan one day to meet people who are in some places in the same town, to see how I can retrain and share with them what I have learned. Then one teacher put me a question. You always bring things which require the network and electricity, and we hardly use. But I think, as you said, that we can organize a WhatsApp group, we can organize some ways in which we can be contacting one another. I mean, I heard something great from you, and this will be helpful to us.
Thank you very much, Prosper. Thank you. So also, I think that when you attend seminars like this ones, the first thing you do is you try to work with the people who have connection and phones to see how it works. Then you see how to expand it with your learners. All of these I'm presenting when I start them at home with my children, my wife, my nieces, and then I create something online, and then we start practicing it together. Then tomorrow I go to school, I meet my colleagues in the departmental meeting. Maybe the departmental meeting is only made up of 13 people. I try something there with them, it works. Then I already know how it is. Then I start doing it in my classes too. And then with time, you realize that students are gradually joining. When it's possible to have a computer hall, as I said, you also use it. Use the opportunities available at your level. In Cameroon, for example, you can go to the council. They have some halls. They call them technological centers in most of the towns, especially the headquarters of the divisions and then the regions. You can also write a letter there, and they ask for permission to carry out an activity with your learners. They won't refuse if they realize that it's really, because those centers are there and then people are not making use of them at all, and people don't go there, students don't go there, whereas those centers are made for them. And it's just a proposal. Okay, let's continue. Thank you for your question, Prosper.
Well, I have a question. Sorry. The question I have, you have actually explained to us Mentimeter. Now, there are other applications. We have Reddit, Kahoot, Padlet, Odoo. You gave small explanation about some of them. I'm actually reading them now. And but you did not mention anything about Dojo, because Dojo was one of the items that you mentioned. You already gave us insights from Google Forms, Google Docs, Flipgrid, Padlet, Kahoot, Mentimeter, Quizlet, and Quizzes.com. That was so far. I have gotten something from there, but you have not explained anything about Dojo. You didn't say anything about it.
Actually, Dojo wasn't part of the presentation. It's a participant who said that is something they use.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a participant. When I asked what are some of the online platforms that you use, that is what a participant said. So I want to stop sharing my screen now. So I move to the practical session, and then we see how it works in Mentimeter.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not at all. So here I am when I want to go to a Mentee page. For us to see how things actually work on Mentimeter. Mentimeter. Okay, great. Let me connect one. Let me connect my computer. Okay, great. So getting to a Mentee page. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay, Mentimeter page. I am here on my Mentimeter page, and then I have this Mentee I've created, Distance Learning DC. So I just click on it and it opens. When it opens, you see, it asks me to present. I go to present, I click on present, and then you see, go to mentee.com and use the code. That is the code, just like we had it with quizzes. Or you can see here, copy the link. I can copy the link, and if my students have a WhatsApp group, I can just click, I can send the link to a WhatsApp group, and my students will be able to answer or to get to my the quizzes I've created, the Mentee I have created. So which online tools do you know? And my participants, when connected, they are going to send the messages, and they will pop up on my computer, and I can read them, and they too can also see them. So for now, there is no participant. If there were participant, then we can continue, and then you see how it works. I want to go out because I feel like people will not, it will take time for people to join.
Okay, we're already trying to work on it now.
Okay.
To insert the code to join bar.
The code is 277, I mean 277-80-948. 277-80-948. Any
Would
person
you
who's
read the figures? I hardly got the figures that you told us to write down.
I can't hear you, Prosper. You need to go to mentee.com, www.mentee.com, as you see on your screen, and then you will click on join a presentation and www.mentee.com. Then you click on join a presentation, and yeah.
Thank you.
Are you connecting?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, I have one person connected. Great. The person right here there, Kahoot, Flipgrid, that's wonderful. You see the answers. Oh, great. Kahoot, Padlet, Google Forms, WhatsApp, 2 people are connected, and here are the answers. That's wonderful. So, oh, wonderful. You see this, we call this word, it makes it in a form of a word form, yes. And you have the answers that appear on your screen like this, and your learners are like, wow, each learners see their answer pop up on the screen, and then it's like, wow, you see Zoom, Flipgrid, that's great, Google Docs. Yeah, the difference here is email, you don't know who has sent which answer. So when you're giving comments are general comments, and they fit for every person, and every person is concerned. It's not like you're talking to Paul particularly, or to, you just see the answers. So the online tools here, there are some. So yes, we've got another person, Quizlet, that's excellent. You see Zoom, great. So that's just how it works for the first question. Let me just move to the second question, and then you want to see how it works with the second one. So what do you want to achieve at the end of this training? For example, what do you want to achieve? And your learners, remember that here I use this for small classes because their own writing, they won't permit you to write more than 250 characters. So you need to make your answer concise. So students have to work on making concise, writing concise answers. If it goes beyond 250 characters, he would accept. Okay, use Mentimeter, that's wonderful. A person has already given their feedback. They want to use Mentimeter, wonderful, you're gonna use it. That's great. Excellent contribution from this person. Use Mentimeter. Oh, use quizzes. Excellent. How to create and use Mentimeter. Wonderful. Oh, wonderful. I want to connect my learners online, you see. And I see how I want to connect my learners online in online learning using one of these tools. That's wonderful. I want to learn more about LMS that I can adapt in my context. Wonderful. I wish to broaden my knowledge about the use of online applications to teach better. Great. I want to use diverse online learning tools. Excellent. I want to, contributions are from Zoom. Oh, great. Oh, yeah. Effective social media use apps to get an interactive classroom. This is wonderful. And then you see, I saw Prosper smiling when I was reading probably his own answer. So that's how the students behave in a classroom, and it's always wonderful. So this was just for you to see how it looks like. There are many types of slides you can create here. So I want to move out of this game.
Robert,
and yes?
There's just one very nice contribution in the chat box. Jesse says, the Mentimeter is important to me because as a teacher, I can use it to mail the progress of students to their parents or guardians, and even to students themselves, and get their responses in due course. And then Padlet is equally important for me, as it gives me the capacity to help learners keep tabs on the stages they have missed at any point.
Wonderful contributions there.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then there's a really nice piece of feedback. Yeah, here it is. Jesse again. I have so fallen in love with Mentimeter, Padlet, and quizzes.
Excellent. Great. So Alan and the others, so when you finish your presentation on Mentee, you see here, download the results. So I can always click here and I download the results, all the answers, and then they will download them in a PDF form. And I save in my computer, then I share with my learners in our WhatsApp group so they see the various answers they've input in the Mentee. And then I can always use this for writing, for error correction. So I can print them and I give them in class and I say, okay, here are the responses we had last time on our Mentee. Can you just read and we see if there is any error, we correct together. So I create this learning environment where learners do collaborate and do error correction together, and it's always wonderful. And some people do recognize their writing, their answers. Others don't want to say they are the people who wrote it. And if the answers, there's nothing bad in them, we can always also say, oh, can we see who wrote this answer? Can you tell me? And it becomes a game in the classroom. Like, for example, I want to connect my learners in online learning using one of these tools. Can you guess who wrote this? And then the class becomes participatory. It becomes like speaking. So there are always many things you can do. So that was an example of a presentation, but I want now to, I want us to go back so you could see how you can create your own Mentee. So I see there are a lot of questions people put in here. I want to close the speech, so I go to where we have to see how we're creating our Mentee. Okay, great. We coming back to, yes, good. So when I want to create a presentation, I just come here, I click new presentation, for example. Once you click on new presentation, you have this page that opens, and then you have slide, and then you need to come and choose the type of slide. For example, I want a multiple choice question. For example, I click on multiple choice. Okay, and then you type your question. You type your question, for example, Paul, dash, dash, dash. My friend, Paul, my friend, and then you put the answer options. You can see, I can see Paul, my friend, Paul, my friend, my friend, and then I can also click here and I add Paul is my friend, for example, and the learners have to choose. So it will be in a form of a pool. I will see the number of people who have chosen, you see, and then I'm done with this. I can add another option by clicking on add another option. But if I don't, I click on add a slide. I say, for example, here, I want a word cloud, like the one we had where we had answers popping up in different colors. It's word cloud. It's entitled, it's called word cloud. So I click on word cloud, and then I just say,
what's the code to enter mentee.com?
Oh, I can hear her. I go to word cloud, and then I type my question. My question will be like, name 3 verbs, for example, name or write down 3 verbs. 3 verbs, you know. 3 verbs. And so, oh, sorry for the, oh, yes, 3 verbs, for example, and then you see entries, participant can put 3 verbs. But if I want more than that, I can just go up and I say 4, I say 5, they can put 6, the number of verbs I want from them. It's a word cloud answer, and then that's all. You see, if I come here and I click again on add slide, they are going to tell me upgrade to basic. So I can't continue. What I do is that I will just allow this Mentee and go and create another one of 2 slides. That's how I do. But I can present my slide by just clicking on present here, or I share here. You can share it by email. You can share it through to WhatsApp, because you click on the link, and learners can always do it either in class or in their houses if you share the link to them. Yes, that's what happens with it. So that's it with Mentimeter. I want to move to another one. I want to go out of Mentimeter and then continue the presentation with quizzes. Can I do that, Alan?
Yes, I think so.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So I want to move back to the presentation and share it. So that was the practical aspect of Mentimeter for you to see how it works. But remember, for you to get to the page where I was, you need to first of all sign in. And here I'm continuing with the presentation on PowerPoint. And I had a question here, which was, can you use Mentimeter in your teaching context? Let us reflect on this. Oh, yes. Is it possible to use Mentimeter in your teaching context? How and when can you use Mentimeter in your teaching context? I feel we've got an answer already from the comments that Alan gave us, but if there is any person who would like to type in their answer, or just one person to say something, and then we continue. Is there anybody ready to say something? Can you use it in your own context? How and when? Yes, Sabi Binsa.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Sabi.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, yes, so in my own context, I can use Mentimeter.
Excellent.
When to use it, for example, during the COVID-19 lockdown period.
Excellent.
Where students cannot attend classes physically, so I can use it in that context.
Wonderful contribution from you there, Sabi. Remember that even when the schools are going on, you can always use it. You create, and then if you have a WhatsApp group, you send the link to your learners, and then your learners can always do it. Let me hear this one contribution, the last one from, is it Yahoo? Or Ernestine? Yahoo.
Yeah, please. No,
Yes,
Ernestine, don't forget us. Don't
Yes.
forget us on Telegram. Let me bring in the contributions from Telegram. Epole Sandrine says, yes, she just did. She created her presentation and it's very good. It looks nice. She's going to try it. She thinks it's feasible. Lovelyn from Boyer also says it's a very good app. She's trying it. She's been trying it as you were explaining, and she finds it interesting. She thinks it's worth implementing. So Epole Sandrine again says, yes, it is good and it is feasible to use, given that presentations can be done asynchronously. The link can be sent to learners and the learners do the job at home, and then you have the feedback. They don't necessarily need to be in class to do the presentation. Thank you. That's from Telegram group.
Wonderful contribution, Ernestine from Telegram. Thank you. We had forgotten that you were on Telegram. Thank you for reminding us.
Hello.
We need to go on because we have a second part of the presentation, which is using quizzes to motivate learners and assess learners online or on-site. So we need to have...
Robert, sorry to interrupt. You have about another 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. So what do we need to be able to use quizzes? We need to have a Google or Microsoft account. We need to have electricity. We need to have data or internet. Yeah. And how do you create your assessments or your presentations? Just like I did at the beginning here on quizzes, you click on, you type in www.quizzes.com in your browser, and then you sign up. How do you sign up? You sign up with Google account. With your Google account, I generally sign up with my Google account because it's easier, but you can sign up with your email or your Microsoft account. Select I'm using Quizzes as a teacher. As I told you, for all of these tools, it's better you would put teacher because they generally, if you put other things, they might price high for you and you may not be able to use them. Select your school. If you do not see the name of your school, click on Find My Organization, add it here and add the name of your school, and then choose the grade levels you teach and the subject areas. Finally, click on next and find yourself on the Quizzes homepage. So that is how step by step you get to Quizzes. Once you're on the Quizzes homepage, so this is how it looks like. You click on connect with Gmail. Here it's in French. That was a screenshot from my computer and the language was French back then. So you connect with Gmail, and then you click on create and type in the name of your quizzes. Then you select the subject area. So you click here. This is almost the home page. You click on create. Once you click on create, you will see this other page pops up where you see create a quiz. And under create, you have two options: presentation, which is lesson, or quiz. Create a quiz. A quiz will be like a test in the British form. It won't just be a quiz, but it's going to be a test. And you put the subject. Is it English, mathematics, physics? Because all the teachers can actually use it. And then you click on next. And once you click on next, you set up your quiz at the top right-hand side. And then you start setting up means that you can add an image to it. You can put the name of your quizzes, and you start your questions by selecting the question types. In quizzes, you've got MCQs. I think you saw them when I was presenting. You see, you have check boxes, you have fill in the gap, you have pools, and then you have open-ended. And I use a lot of open-ended with my learners when I'm giving them essays. Just that the difference is that with essay questions, you can put assign a mark there. Your learners will work, and then you'll be obliged at the end to get to the page and read and grade the writing manually. It is the same with Google Forms. It doesn't grade the writing. Okay. So creating tests or lessons on quizzes, you click on the icon new question to add a new question, and then at the end, you click done at the top of the right-hand corner when you finish. Remember too that just like all the others I've presented to you, saving is done in the cloud. So if you're working and then you have an electric issue or anything, don't worry. It is saved somewhere. They will put it as draft. When you come back, you will realize that they have saved it as draft, and they will ask you edit, and then you just click on edit and continue. So when the question pops up, the questions pop up, you have multiple choice, check-in box, check boxes. Those are questions that have more than 2 answers. You have fill in the gap, you have open-ended, you have poll, you have slide. Slide is actually new. Before COVID-19, there wasn't slide in quizzes. There were only questions, but with COVID-19, they worked on the platform and they introduced slides, which serve, it helps people to create lessons, just like as we started with this presentation. So how to administer your test or lesson? You administer it live or you assign, meaning that it is synchronously or asynchronously. So you click on what you have created and then you say start a live quiz, or you click on what you've created and then you click on assign homework, and then you can assign. What is very good here with quizzes is you can assign a quiz. When you assign, you put a date. So I give an assignment to my learners and I tell them that by next Saturday, you must have done the assignment. If they haven't done the assignment by then, even if they have the link, they can't access the page again, and I will see the results of others, but not their results. So they won't be able to do. So if you have any question, you ask, but if you don't, then we move to a sort of practice. So while I'm moving to the practical page of it, Alan, you can take some 1 or 2 questions when I move to the page, while I move to the page for us to see how it works.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, no questions for now.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hello, Judith.
Yes, hello. I just want to say that the former question, he said that when can I use this in context of in my own context? I can say that I can use this app, for example, during the holidays to keep in touch with my students. Okay.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks,
Wonderful.
Judith. Ernestine, did you have a question? You have your hand up.
Yes, I would. Can I speak?
Oh, no, sorry. I raised my hand.
Old hand.
Okay, that's
hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Please, I've got a question.
Yes, Yahoo.
Yeah. Should we? Is it computer compulsory for that work?
Is it compulsory to
use? Can we use a mobile phone to work with that, to this kind of thing?
Oh yeah, I said you can use your tablet, you use your mobile phone, you use your computer, you can use any those devices. It's always good. Yeah, you can use your phone.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So here you are on the page. We have already done the signing up, and then you're on the page, and then here you can see the various elements that exist on my page. This is the presentation I had with you using online tools to engage learners on site. This is it. You click on it and then you administer it. I have other, yes, I did a training with other people, and I have some, my learners, English A, module 3, for example, English Form 2A, module 4, for example, English language 2A. So those are some of the ones I've created. But when you want to create your own, you click on create, and then they will ask you if you want just a quiz or a lesson. A lesson will be the mode that I presented to you. It will just be like a test. So you don't have to put lessons there. You don't have to put slides where you had information written in. So let me just take quiz so you see how it looks like. So you name the quiz. I just write, for example, English Form 1, English Form 1. Form 1, maybe I have 2 Form 1s, then I write English Form 1A, for example, and then choose the relevant subject. My subject area is English. I click on English, and then I click on next. Yes, it is going to the next page. Quizzes is generally a bit slow.
Unmute people. Too much.
Thank you for unmuting. Alan, can you? So
What's the problem?
People were complaining about the noise. It's okay. So.
Oh, okay. Let me mute everyone. Sorry. Okay. Can you unmute again, Robert?
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, I hope you can all hear me. So I clicked on new question. I choose the type of question I want. If there's multiple choice, pool, fill in the gap, open-ended, and they've even added draw. Draw was not there at the beginning. This is new. So I just click on multiple choice, for example, and you type your question here. For example, let me just take the same question I had the over there, something like that, so it is not long. Paul dash 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 my friend, and this is what I do. You need to come and select the options. I can see Paul, my friend, Paul, aunt, my friend. I can see Paul, my friend, and then I can put the last one here. I see Paul is my friend. Remember that you can always click here to add another option if you realize that the options, you have more than 4 options. So yes, this is what you do. And then when you finish, you come and click on, you put the number, how much time, more than 1 correct answer. If you want more than 1 correct answer, you click here. And then how much time do you want your learners to use to answer the question? You set it 5 seconds, 10. Here for multiple choice, automatically they choose 30 seconds. And then the topic, which the question is related to which topic you treated in class, you can add a topic, but it's not compulsory. Then once you've done everything, you can come and then you click on save. When everything is done, then you come and click on save. Okay, you see, I haven't finished, because please mark the correct answer. You have to mark the correct answer before they save it for you. So I click the correct answer is this one, because if you don't set, they won't save it. So then you save. Sorry, I had not done that. Good. So, and then when you want to create a new question, you just come on new question, and then that's done for you. And at the end, you come on setting. If you want to put, you can add a picture. Generally, I add a picture of my class or some of my students, and I want to feature them on the quizzes so they feel happy, those who worked well last time, or those who are struggling and they're working well. I can feature them there so they see it and they are happy. It motivates them to work harder. And so you see the quality of my quiz here is 2.5 on 10, but it must be 10 on 10 when you have at least 4 questions and you might have added an image. Then you just click on save. But remember that save is just for you. And then they say add an image. I don't want to add any image there, so I just leave it like this. And they say, okay, good. There is this other area. It is English. They ask you to put the grade. You need to put the grade. Let me see, it is for 2nd grade or 1st grade 2. Is it the level of your class? Is it from Form 1 to Form 2 or only Form 1 you put? And then who do you want to view your quizzes? Because anyone who goes to quizzes can view. So I always make my own private. So I'm the only one to see all my students if I have sent the link to them. Then you click now on save, and then you have saved your quizzes automatically. And you'll see they ask you assign. You can assign immediately, as I told you, or you started a live quiz with it. If you want to assign, you click on assign. For those who are complaining about network issues, you can click on assign, and you will see that good. The participant can complete this quiz until they put a deadline, that is Sunday, February. So I can put even March if I want. You're the person to put the month. You click here on the calendar and then you select. But now they have chosen that they can complete until 1 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday. And you can also send it, if you have a Google Classroom, you can add it to your Google Classroom automatically. And remember, there is music and all the other things. Like yesterday, I sent the other one to Alan, and Alan told me, Robert, the music is not good. So there are, down you have ways. Do you want it to play music when they are doing it? If you don't want, you cancel here. Do you want it to be showing some names to them? If you don't want, you click here. And do you want to shuffle the questions or shuffle the answer options? There are always possibilities of shuffling so that students, if they are together, even if they are together, they can't do any cheating. So once you do all of those, then you click on assign, and then automatically you get a code and a link for your, because teachers will always ask me, what is the code, what is the link? So you see, this is the link that has come, and you can send I can send my quizzes to Classroom, I can send it to Canvas, I can put it on Schoology, I can even send it to Microsoft Teams, to Twitter. And so I just click on copy the link, and I click on copy the link, and that's all, and I share it with my learners on WhatsApp. And if I want to end the assignment, maybe some days before, I can always come and click on end the assignment, and then the assignment ends. That is it with quizzes, and I think we're moving to the end of this presentation, but I just wanted to show you a Padlet page. Can you see my screen? Can you see my Padlet page?
Yes, we can. You have about
okay,
5 minutes. You have about 5 minutes, Robert.
Yes, thank you, Alan, for the 5 minutes. So this is a Padlet page, and this is how Padlet looks like. And you can put a video there, and then I said, write an essay of about 150 words on a situation of endurance you have been through. Write an essay on a TOEFL question, or remember to write down the topic before you answer. So this one wrote on endurance. This one, you see the questions, the various answers of your students. Students just come and click on this pink, and then a page opens on this main page, and they can write their answers. And you can see, you can click on this box to comment. Their friends can get in and comment and like them, depending on the setting the teacher put on. So I want to go back to the PowerPoint presentation so we end. Let me stop sharing. So the same questions, do you think you can use quizzes in your classroom? If yes, how? You can type in your answers, and we will see them. So I don't want to go beyond time. So good, but I think we will definitely have the same answers. We can use them depending on how we arrange everything in our classroom.
There's one person, Robert, who's already answered this question. It says, I'll use quizzes regularly to teach grammar lessons.
Excellent. Good. That's
Hello.
wonderful. Yes, Ernestine.
Hello, I like to bring contributions from Telegram. Paula Sandrine says she's just discovering it. It's wonderful. Interestingly, she's been able to create her own quizzes that she's sharing on the platform. Also, even though it has just one question, that reads how many types of tenses are there. And so she's finding it interesting, and she thinks she can use it in her grammar lesson. So she says, thank you for the presentation.
Oh, that's wonderful, Ernestine. Thank you. So fill in the gap. This was to appear on my quizzes presentation. Today, we thoroughly work on how many online tools? Can someone just say it? We thoroughly worked on how many?
We thoroughly worked on Mentimeter, quizzes, then you get
good.
us,
two, Mentimeter
yes.
and quizzes.
Telegram says two.
Yes, the only, good, wonderful. The online tools we thoroughly worked on, they are
Multimeter and quizzes.
Excellent, good. So the presentation, how was the presentation? Useful, not useful, very useful, well prepared, and any one person just to say?
Telegram from Paula Sandrine and Phil, they say very useful, well prepared and well presented.
Excellent, great. So I want to say thank you all for your active participation in this webinar presentation. I feel like there is more we have to learn, and I feel like we can use it in our context depending on how we plan it, and then we can always adapt the presentations and do what we can at our own level. But let's start something. We remember when there was COVID-19, I was like, oh, so does it mean that the world has gone to an end? These are the tools that can permit us continue working. And I like the fact that a participant mentioned that during holidays, you can get learners busy by sending them some quizzes, some Mentee, some Google Forms document, and they're working on without you being there, and they get the corrections. They are interactive. Thank you for your active participation. I feel that British Council should give us more opportunities to be able to share and work on this. Thank you. I was able to work only on 2 thoroughly. Thank you.
Okay. Can I add my thanks to Robert and to Ernestine, who's been managing the Telegram group. She's been shadowing the webinar for all those people with weak connectivity who couldn't log into Zoom. I want particularly to thank Robert for sharing his extensive experience and expertise with all of these apps. You can tell from listening to him and watching his presentation that this is something that is part of his teaching practice. And I hope that the links he's shared with you, the applications that he's demonstrated, will have inspired you to try them out for yourselves. We've tried to make this webinar as practical a demonstration as possible, but it wasn't, and it was possible for a small number of you to log in to quizzes and to Mentimeter and to really feel how it works. But I hope that everybody has got a strong impression of how these applications can be used in various ways, for teaching, for testing, for keeping track of students' progress. The possibilities are really limitless. I know that some people have severe constraints in terms of where they are, in terms of electricity outages and internet connectivity. But the message, I think, or the spirit that came across very clearly from Robert's presentation this morning was the idea of encouraging teachers and learners to do what they can with what they've got. If it's a matter of using the applications asynchronously so that students can do the work independently outside of the classroom, or using them in some other limited ways, I realize that it may not be possible for everyone to take advantage of all the affordances of these applications. But I hope that Robert has encouraged you this morning to try. So many thanks, Robert, and thanks for getting through your presentation despite all of the limitations of your own technology at times. I think that's a mark of an adaptable educator to be able to do that. I have another webinar to launch in a few minutes, and Zoom will not let me open 2 webinars at the same time, which I'd been hoping to do just to get the other one started. So I'm going to have to close this meeting in a few minutes. Yes.
Alan, please. Yeah, could you just permit Stuart say something? My trainer is there. Could you just give him 1 minute to say something before you close?
Yes, of course. Yeah, that was pre-closure. I need to close it in a few minutes.
Yes.
Stuart.
Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you, Robert. And I agree with Alan's words there. about the fact that we're reaching people that we can't normally reach. There are some challenges, but it's important to find the solutions as well. Thank you, Robert, and I'll see you next week, nearly. It's the 4th of March when we'll be working together again for the 3rd time, and I look forward to that. And thank you, Alan, for your facilitating work on this one.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Alan. It was a pleasure,
Okay,
Robert.
thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robert. Thank you, Mr.
very much.
Alan.
Thank you all. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Mr. Robert.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
attending.
We'll make sure everybody gets the link for certificates, and the
Thank you.
presentation will be published on the Teaching
Thank you so
English
much.
Africa
Thank you.
website.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. See you
We have
next
the link
time.
where we're gonna do this.
Hello, Alan.
How shall